Twitch first.
Sounds good. And if your computer can't handle both, I'll just manage with Twitch.
Yeah, if it can't handle both, I'll just stop the one on Discord.
I'll have Twitch open as well so I can read chat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, Mr. Puzzle.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, there's Echo.
I think he just said hello twice.
No. That one was in the one was me, and then one was the stream, I think.
Oh boy.
Oh, gotcha. I gotta mute the stream.
Still setting things up. Oh, Discord is. Oh, people are posting my link already. Okay.
Oh wait, that's right. I gotta post my dialogue meme. Where did I put it?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. It's very important. There we go.
Okay. And we're all here.
I love it.
I can't see this because my Discord is being laggy.
He's got the hats immediately.
Nice.
Hell yeah!
Alright, let's begin the stream then. So, hey everyone, welcome to the Opus Magnum tournament streams. And I'm Bist, and here we have Biggie, Mr. Puzzle, and
That's me.
zorflax with us
Hey.
for the stream. Yeah, and for the stream, for week 0, we have this puzzle called Leave No Trace. It's a puzzle where you have to take you have to take silvered mirror and turn it into vanishing material and elemental gold. The story is that our main characters have to, they have to get gold and leave this place without leaving any residue, which in the lore that I have written and lore following this puzzle called Save Morse Disposal, disposal glyphs actually just disintegrate atoms and then send them into the air. And we don't want that, since the puzzle name suggests that you're supposed to leave no trace, even though, some people solve this puzzle, leaving a bunch of waste everywhere. But, yeah. And guess I'll be starting up the AHK script then. God, it's difficult not having multiple screens. Waiting for the parser currently. Oh, there we go. Where's Steven's soul? There it is, okay. So first off we have, surprisingly not Steven. Oh yeah, we'll be starting with Sum, by the way. So first off we'll be starting with BritBoy with a sum of 32.
That's a bit high for a sum solve.
Yeah.
The parts are rather separated for a sum solve.
So, zoom mod.
Oh my god, zoom mod, that's amazing.
Yep. Winning the competition on, worst sum, apparently. Mostly because the other people have submitted solves that perform better in sum.
So you're not taking Steven's newly awful sum, you're taking his old, better sum.
Oh, right. I didn't see, yeah. That one's the new one. I'll have to go back to that one in a bit. Whoops. So, yeah, long sticks. Very long sticks. Just peeling the whole thing apart, and... Oh, I like how it,
This has got some
colors.
aesthetic.
Oh, it keeps going. Oh, God.
Oh no, wait, the gold is its own stick that is running at half the rate because it's way off to the left still.
Oh. Wait, yeah.
And
Oh,
it won't get
no.
output until it reaches the right.
Okay, so that's why the cycle count is so high.
Well, that and everything.
Yeah. It's definitely being
I
gold
think
limited,
Gizmo is
though.
optimizing for being the first person on stream.
How often is it? Let me check. Not every 2 cycles. How often is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 10 cycle loop, so every 5 cycles, I assume.
It looks like it's a 7. It's a 14 cycle loop with 7 between grabs.
Oh wait, I can set game to Opus Magnum?
I just looked down at the instruction tray where it's a bunch of 6s with a gap between.
Yeah, I'll probably do that next time. I currently don't know how to set that up. I'll probably figure that out before next stream. Oh, right, I'm gonna have to look for Steven's... Oh, gold is coming in. I'm gonna have to look for Steven's inputs in a bit. And almost there. And done. That's this one solved. Alright, next up we'll be loading up Steven's quote-unquote better solve. Material Vanisher. If I can... Yeah, you know, arrows would have been helpful. Oh, there's... Oh, okay. Material Vanish, job done. Oh god, okay, here we go. Oh, I see why
Oh,
this
it's one
would
of
be laggy.
these! It's so laggy.
Oh god.
Well, there's your problem.
Oh.
Say, Steven, did you pre-record this by any chance?
How is it on stream?
It's tolerable, but it's still
Horrible.
definitely not as smooth as if you had it recorded.
Oh. Oh boy. Yeah, it's kind of just slow on my end as well. What's that doing? Is that universal solvent? That's universal solvent with quintessence instead.
That's an incredible amount of commitment. All the poor players in chat who aren't really familiar with Steven and think this is an honest effort at an optimized solution. Like, what is this?
Doesn't universal compound contain all the elements needed? Does it? Yeah, you could have made it a universal compound.
Yeah, it has animism, doesn't it?
Oh god, it's lagging. God. Oh! And it... and it throws away empty shells.
This is
Preserving the
beautiful,
shape.
Stephen.
Oh my god. Wait a minute, it
Yes.
has extra animismus just to preserve the extra shell without the contestants in the middle. It makes extra animismus just to do that. Wow, okay.
It's a thing of beauty.
Mm-hmm. Good thing we have zoom mod. Oh, no, no. Too much lag. I can't keep this up. Alright. Yeah, this is an amazing solve, Stephen.
Let's look at the top quickly if we can to see the gold output. Even if we're not watching it output, just
Oh
like
yeah,
how much extra room there is going on for gold. Oh, it's
I'm
just that. Okay.
I'm kind of zoomed out, so it's not that much. It doesn't look like
Yeah,
that much. It really isn't that much either when compared to the rest of the solve. Yeah, it's outputting.
it's so clever how the swings managed to just deposit the silvers just like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a lot of smarts going into such a dumb solution.
Mm-hmm. And after these, I'm gonna have to start looking through solves because a lot of these are just area solves, and I have to make sure not to show those first. But our first actual sum solve should be by, if I can find it, should be House in the Trees. So, oh, time to zoom in.
Congrats to everyone who submitted for some. Like, I personally just did not have the stomach for some for this puzzle.
Yeah, sorry about that. So, apparently sum has been quite an awful metric to optimize for. Congratulations to all who submitted for it, though. So yeah, this is a very basic, just solving the puzzle kind of solve here.
That arm too is getting a nice workout.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Yeah, one of the fun things about sum solve is how efficient a six arm always is at doing its
yeah, except this
handling.
6 arm is kind of just saving up all the salt to use later. And not actually, like, there for optimization purposes, I think.
I don't actually mind the idea of the wheel arm in the middle. I think what kind of kills the sum score a bit are the piston arms.
Oh yeah, in general, it's a good idea to not use piston arms, but it might be useful in this puzzle because of the more convenient access points for compared to tracks. In this puzzle in particular.
Good point.
But yeah, that's the solve. And congratulations to House in the Trees for submitting a solve. Next up, we have area solves, width solves, TI solves, height solves, area solve. B. Smith.
If you only count sum solves, what place is this, or is that not a real thing you can do easily?
Oh, you mean the current one right now or the previous one?
The previous one.
Previous one was 29th place, and the current one by B. Smith is 23rd place at 701 sum. I noticed
Nice. So it's just the skipped like other category ones.
yeah. I think I forgot to report the sum of the previous solve. That one was 1,043. Yeah, it's kind of expensive and not too fast. But yeah, let me play this off then. This is definitely more optimized for some, like a lot more optimized. It's got a lot of hex arms, I like that.
It's like a mix between Sum and TI.
I was gonna say the same. It's got a lot of motifs in it with the half-period arms.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, lots of arms are only operating at like 1 turn per loop, I think. Yeah. It definitely looks a lot like TI. I guess it's also on the expensive side. So the sum solves I've been receiving in general are about 300 gold, and in the 100 somethings range for cycles. And this is pretty high in area as well. Yeah. Sum is difficult in this puzzle because of the high cost required for everything, and if you want to go faster, it's kind of difficult to do so without just spending a bunch more gold. Makes this puzzle really kind of annoying for some, as some people have told me, and as I have done myself after suggesting some. Which maybe I should have play tested it first for some before I actually just suggested, hey, maybe you should do some.
Hey, it's week 0. Don't.
Yeah,
That's alright, it's week 0.
I have play tested other weeks though, so hopefully those should be better. Alright, next up we have Tracer 81 with 677 sum. So no more pistons. And a diamond track with 3 arms on it. Nice.
I like tracks with shared between arms. It's just cool because you get to add 20 gold to the solution and have it have the full range of access of all the other arms on the track.
Yeah, and that appears a lot in the more sum optimized solves. It's really helpful.
Yeah, even without even without taking too close a look at this puzzle, I suspected this is going to be a powerful idea in the coming sum solves.
Unfortunately, this one is a bit on the slow side and still slightly too expensive. There's quite a bit of arms like dedicated to just the purification, and lots of idle time on lots of the arms. Like arm 9, arm 11 only do 1 thing per tape loop. If we look at the instruction tape, a good rule of thumb when optimizing for sum is to, well, optimizing in general, I guess, is to have a full instruction tape, so that each arm is using the most of its potential, and not just idling most of the time. Yeah. Next up then, we have M. Schmall. We have lots of new players this time with in week 0. So this is 639 sum.
I do love all the new names that come out at the beginning of each tournament.
Hopefully I'll stick around. This is very compact. And with Burlow on track too, that's interesting. Unfortunately, still kind of on the expensive side, so doesn't really perform as well on some.
I know it's overly expensive, but I like how all the air atoms get calcified at the same cycle.
Yeah.
Like a nice flash.
That's pretty amazing. And then 2 of them, get get duplicated into the colors, which works out pretty well actually, since 2 of them, 1 of them just is used for animismus, and the other 2 is used for quintessence. That seems to be the balance a lot of people go for.
Yeah, the first 2 steps here of everything is salt and then 2 duplicate while the salt unbonds is the way that you would probably start things on cycles as well, except no one should do cycles for this puzzle. It sounds awful.
Yeah, What did you say the minimum cycles was?
It's like 32 or 33, but probably realistically 35 is even impossible.
32 or 33 sounds like a certain other metric.
What?
So, yeah.
No idea what you're talking about.
But, yeah. That's this solve. Oh, yeah, and even though the puzzle provides you with air in the input, I noticed that most people just calcify the air and then turn it into air anyways. Using Burlow.
It's good for reusing machinery to have that be your plan, but there's probably a way to be more efficient if you don't need to do that.
But yeah, next up we have in 20th place, Hello Jasper. Let me rotate that. And while I'm at it, put Critelli in the center. There we go.
You just brutally murder a man on stream.
It's for more easier viewing experience. It's for a better viewing experience. Okay, so this solve is, well, definitely a lot cheaper than all the previous solves we've seen. But I assume it's quite a bit more slower.
It uses only 5 non-Burlow arms, which is about as low as I can imagine a solution going. If someone got fast sum in 4, then hats off to them, but...
Yeah. I mean, if all of them were on the same track loop, it probably could be faster. I don't know. That could be a thing.
Yeah, each of them kind of is doing a mini cost solve where they only have access to their few access points and have to make sure that they communicate with each other in the right way. It makes a lot of sense as a solution. It's just quite a bit slower than this kind of arm count can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, in recent months, in my some escapades, I've been starting to think about like arm count a lot more than I used to. Just like ahead of time when I'm trying to lay things out, like how many arms do I want at the end? What do I think is gonna be able to get to a decent cycle count?
Are you sure you're not optimizing for carms instead? Because that sounds an awful lot like carms.
Didn't we break arms by saying that you could just use one arm for a lot of puzzles and just have a 6 or 2 arm do like the whole relay's worth of action?
I think that kind of depends on the puzzle, actually. Some puzzles just are more prone to just one arm solves. Some of them require you to use more arms. And if there needs to be more arms, we just change the metrics to +2 or something.
Nah, we can just rectify it by forcing trackless comms.
That too. But yeah, next up we have in 19th place with 629 sum, Topple Mouse. This is a returning player from last year. The solves are definitely getting much more compact looking. This one's still sort of on the expensive side at 395 gold. But it's definitely really compact though. Yeah, about just calcifying everything and then just applying Burlow onto it again. That's very it definitely is convenient for just less machinery. You don't need to make an exception for the extra air.
Yeah, I noticed a couple of piston arms, which proves your point earlier about pistons still being good for this particular sum puzzle.
It saves an area, and it provides lots of more convenient access points.
Yeah, a piston that only lives in one of 2 orientations still reaches 6 tiles, and no other arm really can say that.
Yeah. yeah, that should be this solve. Next one we have Chickens in the Attic in 18th place with 607 gold. No, 607 some. God, I'm tripping over all my words today. Oh wait, no,
If
this
you can
one...
find 607
No, this is
gold,
an area solve. Whoops.
an area solve that has that low of a sum. Okay.
Yeah, apparently. So, we'll come back to this one later then. Next up then, we have Hutobi with a sum of 586.
That solution title was rude, by the way.
What was it?
Oh, I
My
missed it
least favorite
entirely.
metric. Oh no.
Oh.
Huh.
So this one has only 4 work arms, but 2 of them are 6 arms, and if you can get away with that, it's really efficient.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's not that fast.
Yeah, it's running up to about almost 300 cycles, which is not that fast for some, to be honest.
But really, like, the telephone, rotary, whatever going on between those to make the gold and the quintessence for the other arm to pick up. It
Yeah,
has to do, the other arm on the track only has to do any work for making animismus by moving 1 salt. Everything else is just assembly and output. It's pretty cool that those 2 6 arms do so much work.
yeah. Unfortunately, when the 6 arms have to move, they have to grab... Unfortunately, the hex arms have to do a lot of grab drops, increasing the cycle count.
It's like, what's the name? It's not a Rubik's puzzle, but there's a puzzle where you kind of have to shuffle 2 different loops around until you move the right pieces to the right sides.
You mean those kind of sliding puzzles with the numbers on them?
So I'm thinking of a circular version that isn't just the tiles, but I can't think of what it's called.
Huh. I don't think I've seen those. But yeah, lots of grab drops required, and it kind of increases the cycle counts, unfortunately. But yeah, after this then, we have another new player, Vilvacane, in 16th place with 578 some. SI version 1. This one's less compact than the previous solves we've seen, but it's definitely cheaper. And decently fast, too.
I just posted a picture of what I was thinking of in the Discord.
Oh, huh. Yeah, I definitely haven't seen those. Yeah. So, I think this illustrates pretty well the access points that arms on track can provide, though. With the mostly arm 4, arm 1, and arm 7, I guess.
And this is actually apart from being a bit too spread out, I would say this is a pretty efficient song.
Yeah.
For some.
I wonder if it's possible for it to be slightly more compact with a bit of rearrangement, but like mostly the same instructions. Should be. We'll probably see some similar solves down the line then. So yeah, next up then, we have, with an improvement of 6 some in 15th place, Guilty Bystander. Oh, there's another array of hex arms. This one also gives off TI vibes.
More hex arms. I think Guilty had said something in Twitch chat that, like, Yes, I like two hex arms next to each other too, and I was cluing, yeah, that's what they did.
Mhm. Oh, also, sorry, I can't, I don't have two screens currently, so it's a bit hard for me to read Twitch chat.
Twitch chat just asked about tessellation throughput. That's a metric that was designed that is really difficult to visualize because involves solutions that tile an infinite plane with an infinite number of inputs and an infinite number of outputs. If
Yeah,
you want to know how to optimize in that situation, ask about tessellation throughput on Discord.
I
The-
can't
the
really
only-
explain it myself.
The only puzzle I'm aware of that any serious tessellation throughput work has been done on is stabilized water.
The only real puzzle, but there's also the puzzle that is one salt input and one output, salt output. And that one, because it's even simpler than stabilized water, I think we have proven is optimal on tessellation throughput.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not sure we ever reached something we could call optimal on stabilized water. Just this is best we found so far.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, it sounds
What
like
did-
a...
What did Shadow Cluster say? We're still like 3 or 4 years away from tessellation throughput actually becoming a thing.
He's just predicting based on the tour de force we've taken through metric space that we'll eventually be seriously optimizing every puzzle in the game on that metric.
Eventually we'll run out of metrics and start actually considering tessellation throughput. Yeah. Next up, then, we have in 14th place, 42 Genius 42, at 561 some. Oh, huh, input suppression. And I
I
love how
love the gears.
Yeah.
They're rotating through each other.
Mhm.
And this is the first one to do 3 into Burlow and then 1 into Burlow, 2 into Animismus.
Huh.
Basically, everyone before this has done 2 into Burlow, 1 into Animismus, and then 2 into Burlow, 1 into Animismus again.
Yeah. And that does come with the perk that you don't have to calcify, you don't have to pass one of the airs through Burlow. Input suppression is kind of weird though. It kind of like just lowers the throughput of the solution a lot, making it slower. I guess 200 cycles is still okay though. I really like how this solve looks though, with the gears locking.
It's quite well executed, this idea.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. After this, we have in 13th place... No, wait. I'm first. I'm next. We have me in, what would be 14th place with 556 some. I am not good at sum, apparently. It's too expensive. This solve is too expensive.
What was your thought process when you were making this?
My thought process was I'm just gonna make a solve and make it like decently fast, I guess, which is where I went wrong, apparently. Going fast on this puzzle is not that easy, while keeping down the cost. I just kind of built it as things went along, like just adding arms as needed and trying to make fill up each arm with instructions as much as possible.
I do like the idea you've got going on the left with the input, where you're just pivoting the input just to get the right elements and salts in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that...
Nice area efficient way of handling that.
Yeah, but that probably could have been done like while debonding as well, maybe? Not sure. I think some solves like debond and calcify and do Burlow at the same with the same pivots. That would definitely be more efficient, and I definitely try to do that, but it's a lot more difficult than it seems. But yeah, this is just sort of a little solve just to see what sum range sum would be in, even though it's not really that much of that good of an indicator, being pretty bad performing in sum, apparently. Yeah. Next up then, we have in 13th place, Ebenov at 545 sum. Anime stress. I'm assuming anime refers to the animus miscliff. Oh boy.
Refers to both.
Mondere Shinderu.
Yeah, the space above the animus miscliff is pretty busy. I like the deep on order though. It's pretty interesting. It doesn't debond by just pivoting and rotating. I think this one saves a lot more area with that way, huh? And we are starting to see arms on track loops not actually looping around the track too. 5 and 6 share the same track, but they're doing very different things.
Yeah, I just kind of need work to be done, and those arms are there to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next up then, we have in 12th place, Communist Mountain. With a sum of, let me check, 543. This is a pretty tall solution. Let me zoom out a bit for it. Oh, yeah, it's doing the calcify first thing again. Except not in the same space like I did. That is a really fast solve at 113 cycles.
I didn't consider going this fast in any of my attempts at this puzzle.
Yeah, mostly
I
because...
think once you get down like this low, it's impossible to be cheap. If you found a way to be this fast with 5 or 6 arms, that's maybe competitive, but once you're starting to need to put 8 or 9 or 10 arms in, that's really going to be prohibitively expensive.
Yeah, I think the better way to go about this puzzle would be to actually optimize for as little arms as possible, to make it cheap first, and then trying to fit in as trying to reduce the amount of cycles, instead of reducing the amount of cycles and then reducing the cost.
We'll have to see what number 1 looks like to determine if that's right.
Yeah.
And you obviously already know. I just don't.
Well,
there's been so many solves I kind of don't remember. They all kind of blur together.
Well, last year I came up with a rule of thumb for number of arms in sum solutions because I noticed there does not exist a sum record with more than 8 arms. Not one that I could find anyway. It's none of the journal or campaign puzzles have solutions with more than 8 arms, so that's not a hard rule. It's just maybe there's an exceptional puzzle that you need more than 8 arms, but I try and follow that. Worth keeping in mind maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also I guess this input could be over here, and that would make things a bit more efficient, and probably 20 gold cheaper. That's possible. Kind of like how my solve did it.
Yeah, so do I.
But yeah, next up then we have in 11th place with 531 sum, another new player, Catspin.
Burlow is a mechanism, but arms are mechanisms, so...
Mm-hmm. This is really compact as well. Also lightning tracks, nice. You don't see those often.
This is a really good looking solution. The 6-arm gets to fill up the unification glyph.
Yeah. And it's not spending
For-
too many grab drafts.
For a first ever submission, this is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Cadspin's one to look out for.
It's already doing better than I am. I am not good at sum. I think last year's sum puzzles were, well, one of them was Panacea to Poison. That one was kind of just difficult for everyone, and then there was the pretty easy sum puzzle, Elemental Joe setting. But yeah. This is at 531 sum, and after this one, we have at 516 sum, in 10th place, username Void.
That's a drop.
Yeah, it is quite a drop.
Also, it proves to me something. It proves to me that my most recent optimization meant something.
Yep. I see lots of hex arms being used. Like, the further down we go. Hex arms are pretty useful.
Hex arms work well with different tests and glyph
Yeah.
in this puzzle, definitely.
And this one's pretty compact as well. How much extra area does it? It's got quite a bit of swing space, unfortunately. Huh. Oh, so that's how it sends the silver to that point.
Oh, interesting. It's sharing on that point.
I was wondering why there was 2 extra area over here, near the bottom. But yeah, that's a pretty interesting way to share, to communicate between the arms. But yeah. So, Vicky mentioned that their recent sum optimization actually mattered. So,
Yep. 517 to 515 by going 3T to save area.
yep, next up is Biggie Mac in 9th place with 515 sum.
Yeah, I started out with a 518 that was different from this, and then a 517 that was just this 20 cycle loop, but it wasn't optimized for area. There was an extra swing. And so I realized if I could make the 3 arms switch places with each other, I could save 2 area, but that meant I had to like unroll the loop and put 2 sets of repeats on everything. So yeah, I got username boy by 1.
Oh god, the track loop.
It hits all the right access points, but it's just so awkward. Things are moving so uncomfortably, and I have to kind of make it work.
Yeah.
I didn't ever feel like I landed on something elegant, so I'm not surprised I'm just at the end of the top 10, but the skill I carry still got me to 9th.
Yeah, this is, I think 9th place? Yeah, this is 9th place.
And for those
I'd
wondering
say-
about putting the input where the first swing takes it instead of way off to the left, it's one sum worse. I tried to make something cute out of that, and it had to be a 21 cycle loop, and then it got to 516. So, no dice.
I was just going to say, the part of this solution that I think is genuinely elegant is the way the vanishing material is bonded.
Ooh, yeah. How much area does that use? Oh, nice. I was expecting 2 extra area for swing space, but no. Yeah, that is pretty efficient.
That's the area that I avoided. The swing space there, I could get away with not using by having the arms reset to each other's positions instead of their original positions.
Yep. And
I I like the arm filling the quintessence glyph because it's on 20 cycle loop, it's always working, and it just moves 4 different atoms to the 4 different points.
yeah, it's the... Oh, no, it's not. I was gonna say it's kind of similar to the most cost-efficient layout for quintessence, but the track is slightly
different. The cost one would have access to the center, but this one has access to the point off-center to grab atoms off the debonder.
Yeah. The track min cost looks more like this, except this one's bent the other way.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was just going to say, I still don't see a reason against the duplication method in BIST's solution.
It's one sum worse every time I've tried it. There's
Oh, you
enough
tried it?
flashing. Yeah, I spent a lot of time and I got a 516 that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It saved 5 area and lost 6 cycles.
Actually, have you submitted that solve?
No, I didn't.
No? Oh, okay. I was gonna say if you did, I could probably show it. But yeah.
It's just, it was worse by the time I found it, so I didn't ever submit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Rebix
What do people who better than me get?
mentioned a close call. So in 8th place, we have Rebix with 514 sum.
Of course.
With a very different approach, actually. Okay, all
Oh
areas
wow, the
marked.
first 2 go to Animismus, so they can set that all up.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. It's
That
very
makes
clean.
sense. Yeah. With no giant track loop. Well, not giant track loop, but with no, like, track loop with 3 busy arms on it.
I think giving ARM 2 access to all of its work in translating stuff and then also letting it just output gold. There's so many little layout options in this one where with 5 arms and so many silly access points, you can make it work in so many different ways, and it's hard to find enough of them to know you're at a good point.
Yeah.
Very good solution, Revix.
Mm-hmm. Also, since we reached top 10, anybody have their bets for the top 3 contestants? For some?
I got
I
a
got
good.
Goodbye Galaxy somewhere in the top, unless he didn't submit.
Yeah, good.
I got a good feeling I'm up there this time.
Goodbye Galaxy has
I was
submitted.
about to,
Mr.
I was about to
Puzzle
say,
had a
Mr.
really good weekly solve in one of the quintessence puzzles. I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
it being like,
That was the
easy
first
bug.
one.
Yeah, the first weeklies.
Yeah, the horn silver.
He got first place.
I think if Horn Silver was a tournament puzzle, that solution still would have won. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Horse Silver was a pretty great puzzle. I liked it.
Thank you.
It's a pretty elegant puzzle. But yeah, next up then, we have Spec 98 with a tiny bit of a drop in 7th place, 508. Huh.
This is a cost layout fed a little bit differently. I would imagine if you have one arm in place of those 4 or those 3, you put the input off to the right, you've made your cost layout.
Yeah, sounds about right. No, this is pretty fast as well.
It sure looks like it's using its track loop better than mine. Just because all the arms are mostly facing the same direction at the same time, because that's where the work needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, oh, turn around again.
Yeah. So it does Animismus first, and then it does the Quintessence, and then it does the Purification. Doing things one step at a time. Yeah, this is a very cheap solve for some. Yeah. Next up after this then, we have in 6th place at 502 sum, Hexton. Oh.
A piston and a
Yeah.
502 sun.
So this is what I was
Yeah,
talking about with pistons being pretty useful, even in low sum.
Especially with the Animismus glyph.
Yeah. One piston not on tracks reaches 3 points in Animismus. And if you wanted to reach it with an arm on tracks, you'd basically be spending the same cost. With 4 tracks and an arm. So it does make sense to use a piston. Solve is very
This
compact
is
as
also
well.
maybe, apart from like the misplaced area solve, this might be the smallest area of any of the ones we've seen so far.
Yeah. It's really, really compact. I can't exactly check for that right now, but I think it might be. Yeah. After this then, we have in 5th place, Pioneer. At exactly 500 some. With another lightning track.
2 arms on a lightning track is really limited. That's impressive that it worked out well.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't like move them around each other and switch spots. It's just
They're
but if it
both
works, it
just
works.
kind of just doing their own thing. Also, the Arm 4 seems to the place Arm 4 seems to be a common occurrence as well, where it just handles 2 sides of the quintessence and also the output. No, not the output. Also the output, but the
quintessence itself.
Yeah.
I like that the 2 jobs that are assigned to Arm 4 are quintessence and output. That seems like a very natural combination of like tasks to give one of the arms. I think it's like here it's been done very well.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense because they're also both at the end of this process that has to happen because there's so much work before you get to touch quintessence.
Yeah.
But if you have an arm that's job is quintessence and output, then it can be starting late, ending late, and not clog up the machine.
Oh, there's not a lot of arms in this at all. Wow, okay. There's 5 arms, including the Brillo.
One of which is Brillo. Yeah, this is fewer arms than I thought the winner would have, but it's doing far better than I thought I would do. So.
Mm-hmm. Solve's got really cheap, apparently.
4 more? Amazing.
Yeah. So, what may come as a surprise. So, next up in 4th place, we have at 495 some a new participant.
Ooh.
Gecko. Oh, look at that, another piston.
Alright, Gecko, we hear you.
Also, my 2-point sum save meant something.
Interesting Bonder order here. It makes a lot of sense.
Huh. Yeah.
Big fan of the trapezoid track here, actually.
What points do the trapezoid track access? Well, there's the gold output, there's the... lots of access points.
This has the exact same... it might be not just Rebix, but it reminds me of how Rebix's solve took apart the silver and put it on the purification glyph, and then let one other busy arm put the gold onto that gold output glyph.
Yeah. Some solves are just... I can't comprehend them sometimes.
Also, another piston in a well-ranking sum solution here.
Yeah. Piston seems much more useful in this puzzle.
5 places with only 2 angles.
Yeah. So, and after this, in 3rd place, one sum better, we have another new competitor. Not great.
Whoa.
At 494 sum.
The point save really meant something. Oh.
Yep. Okay,
Mr.
so
Puzzle won the instructions tiebreak, I hear.
not really,
No.
not exactly.
No. Maybe. How close is it going to be? That's what I'm
Not Great
wondering.
has been talking in Discord. It's cool to see their solution.
Yeah.
What a debut.
Also, wait, is my stream on Discord working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I just had to mute myself because there was a truck outside.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm watching the stream on Discord because it's because they have less lag here on Discord than I would watching it on Twitch. I've got
Yeah.
the Twitch chat open, but
I should try to have the Twitch chat open somehow on a second screen next time I stream. So, what I find interesting is the uneven arm lengths on the track loop there.
That's always really powerful when you can get it to work. I just didn't find a reason to put a length one arm
Yeah,
on the
so
track in this one.
Zorflax was talking about some solves to me, and he mentioned hypervolatile gas, which does the same thing, if I recall
Yeah,
correctly.
you're right.
The winning my 0th place vaporous solvent, I believe, also does it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pain in the ass to get right, but if you can get it right, it's very powerful.
Yeah. Also, I think vaporous propellant, not solvent.
Oh, yeah, right.
Vaporous solvent is another another puzzle, I think.
Yeah, no, that's a completely different
But I
puzzle.
don't Is it the, I think that one's my shadow cluster, it's in the journal. With 10 in the middle. But, yeah, so... Mr. Puzzle has been talking about, like, it being really close, so in second place we have Mr. Puzzle at 493 sum. Just one sum less again.
the 2 points mattered.
Yep.
Man, I would look at this and think it's too expensive, especially with Arm 2 not having as many jobs, but it's so... Like, there aren't tracks under the arms in most cases, so it's not even that expensive.
Yeah.
And it's very fast.
It's amazing how access this gets to access all the points needed. And 139 cycles, wow.
Yeah, if you ignore the Van Berlo wheel, there's like surprisingly little idle time with like all 6 arms combined.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Arm 2 and Arm 6 have a slight bit of idle time, but other than that, yeah, not much idle time at all.
Yeah.
And
The annoying thing is Arm 6 has a lot of idle time, but it's the arm that's setting the length of the period.
Yeah. Well, that makes it extra annoying then.
Hate it when that happens.
Arm 6 has a lot to do too. Oh yeah, it sends it to sends it all to animuses, and then it has to send the quintessence to the bonder. Yeah, can't really
The
make
delivery
that
of the
shorter.
animismus it looks complicated, but it does the perfect thing to set up the output assembly to be simple. It's kind of like you have to think in so many directions in a sum puzzle. You have to start from the end, work backwards, and start from the beginning, work forwards.
And make the
and
ends
start
meet.
from the middle.
Yeah. Some may just look like a very optimized beginner solve to like people who aren't familiar with some, but they're pretty amazing.
Yeah, what does Goodbye Galaxy say? He says like, if God played Opus Magnum, then his solutions would just be all the sum records.
Oh, oof, was stream being laggy? But
I do like that quote. Zorflax.
wait, what does Zorflax say?
It's a Goodbye Galaxy remark of if God played Opus Magnum, all of his solutions would be the sum records.
Speaking of Goodbye Galaxy,
That was the pick for first.
in first place we have Goodbye Galaxy with a sum of 484, which is quite a bit of improvement.
Oh. Okay. Not okay.
I was only barely right that my sum minus 40 wasn't going to happen. That 6-arm is busy, and this solution is fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, like pretty much as soon as I open this puzzle up, I just looked at it. I'm like, Goodbye Galaxy's gonna eat this up. I just get this sense, like, yeah, I don't know. Seems like exactly the kind of thing he would have like eaten up on the like leaderboards a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Complex sum puzzles in general are like he's very, very good at them.
Yeah, because they tend to not have been optimized that well for sum, and Goodbye Galaxy went for them first. So as a result, he's gotten really good at them.
So compared to Mr. Puzzle Solve, this one is 8 cycles faster and 2 area worse and the same cost, but that like 300 gold is the right amount to spend on this many glyphs, and then the arms to work them.
Yeah. The previous
I also
version
like that he's got. Sorry, you go.
I was gonna say I remember seeing the previous version of this where the hex arm didn't exist, and it was actually a single arm instead.
I was just gonna say I like that there's a hex arm and also a diamond track with 2 different length arms on it.
Yeah. Two of the best arm arm layouts for some. But yeah, this is a very impressive solve at 484 sum.
Oh, you notice arm 7 on the right? It holds Assault Atom to suppress the activation of Animismus until arm 6 is ready.
Oh wait, I didn't notice that. Wow.
That's cheeky.
A grab drop in a sum solution that is worth something.
Wow.
Yeah, can I see this? Yeah, there it is, grab drop. Wow. Lots of interesting tech for this solve.
I am glad that you made sum a metric for week 0, so that it can be something where I don't have to be that good at it, but I can watch the really good calls.
Yeah. If I did cycles instead, well, that'd be...
You would not have retained people till week 1.
Yeah, I knew cycles was pretty awful for this puzzle. But yeah, that should be all for the sum solves. Next up then, we'll be looking at area. I'm gonna launch the parser for this.
I was just going to say, like, I'm a sum optimizer, and I'm glad week 0, this puzzle was sum on week 0.
Parser's being pretty slow. Let's see, which one's the first area solve? Nope. Okay, there it is. There seems to be more submitters in area than in sum, which makes sense to be honest. So in 29th place we have M. Schmall at 43 area.
There's no rule that says week 0 is supposed to be easy, I think. Like, a Welcome to House Colvin from the last tournament was hard. Ridiculously hard. It's mostly just to get people playing. My week 0 was easy to a fault.
Yeah, your week 0 is just... Well, it's called Connect the Dots, and that's basically what it is. So...
Welcome to House Colvin was really good for week 0 because it was easy to solve, but also hard to optimize.
Well, for one metric in particular.
I wonder if this player knows about area taken up during swings, because there's
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
equilibriums during this solve that don't seem to be necessary, and one of them is just from an arm, not
Mhm.
even atoms.
Yeah. Also, by the way, if most of you, well, if some of you didn't know, you can press P to toggle the area showing, or you can hold 2 to show how much area you've used. There's 2 ways to check how much area you've used. I've only recently learned about like actually pressing P to toggle the area showing.
Yeah, I learned P recently as well. That's
Rolomni mentioned
a,
in the
u-
Discord.
a useful shortcut, but I wish I knew it like a year earlier.
So you don't have to hold your hand down on the 2 button.
Well, no, I was devising ways of like, okay, yes, if I use the mouse to hold down the area button and then I let it solve, and then I let go and I push space to play it, it'll keep it highlighted. It's like doing these dumb tricks to keep it highlighted, and it's like just push P.
Yeah, P just keeps it on. But yeah, unfortunately, this takes up 6 whole area just because of swing space.
I still use hotkey 2 for the record.
Yeah, 2 is right where your hand already is for tab and for 1, which I am never not going to use 1.
Mm-hmm.
1 is the button that I press probably more than even tab.
Yeah. Also, if you didn't know what 1 does, it shows where your atoms last were. It's very useful if you're building a big solve that takes forever to get to where it was previously. And if we're just looking at your solve in general to see what the next step should be.
Yeah, when I'm trying to do my cycles things, I typically will make most of a pipeline and then be like, I have to add the next part of the pipeline. So run it to that, press 1, and then put a bunch of glyphs and arms and stuff down.
Unfortunately, pressing 1 doesn't actually work with the arms as well.
Yeah, you have to know in your head where the arms were.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we should make a mod that does that. But yeah, so this one is at 43 area, and next up in 28th place we have a drop in area to 39 area, chickens in the attic.
We had this all hinted to us.
Mm-hmm.
It must be pretty fast because it got a sun placement.
Yeah, it's got lots of arms apparently. 5 arms, not including Burlow. One of them is a double arm. That's interesting. So I guess this solve wasn't really that much optimized for area, and more of just making things look as compact as possible.
I mean, apart from the excess arms, it's not using 2 of any glyph. It's not using any extra swing space. It's completely contained in its footprint.
Yeah.
It just has a lot of arms and doesn't do any Burlow tech.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. So, speaking of Burlow tech, if you didn't know, you can put a Burlow on a track and make it overlap other glyphs, which is mainly why this puzzle is an area puzzle in the first place. Otherwise, area would be pretty trivial. It's just like glyph space. But yeah, we'll see that later on with the more optimized solves. But in the meantime, next up we have with 37 area, Cat's Pin. Oh yeah, Forge hides the tray. I think I've used that before.
I am wondering how many multiple piston solutions we're going to see as the area count drops.
You know, it probably for quite a while actually. Since the minimum amount of arm space you can have, you can have is 2. So technically, you can make a minimum area solve with 2 piston arms. Theoretically, whether or not you can actually access all the access points for that is a different story.
Yeah, I threw together the required arrangement with 2 pistons and no track and all the glyphs and thought, yeah, you don't do Burlow things, so it doesn't work.
Yeah, you have to go around the Burlow, which is pretty difficult.
So I'm really curious if mine isn't the min area, what the min area does look like.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you did only check for 2 piston arms.
This is true.
There's also the other option of piston arm on 2 tracks.
We're also
But then
seeing
you can't do fast things.
we're also seeing Van Burlow's suppression tech for the first time.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
to see.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. It's not actually suppressing that much, though. It's an effective... How much area? I can't tell. And it's an effective
This
5
Burlow
area
takes up
Burlow.
5 times. It
Yeah.
takes up 5 times, yeah.
So it
Which is
reduces
less
to
than
area.
7.
But yeah. After this then, we have in 26th place, also at 37 area, but with 444 cycles, Small Crep. Another new competitor. No Burlow suppression this time.
No track either.
No track, yeah. And 1 extra access point over there that could probably be avoided, to be honest. Oh, no, not with the swing space. Not with the outputting.
Yeah, actually, the only arm that can reach that output would be reaching it in a way that doesn't allow that tile not to be used. You would have to bond to the left of that, and then pivot it downwards and put the output 1 tile down left from where it is. Maybe that would work, but I don't know that it would.
You mean like this?
Yeah, that there, and then the last bond would have to be made between 2 atoms that are to the left, instead of 2 atoms that sit to the right on the bonder.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise that tile you just freed up is now used anyway.
Yeah.
That might have been possible actually. If you like have arm 2 hand off the Moors or whatever to arm 4, and then arm 4 hands it off to arm 1.
Or something
Yeah, I
like
think it might be. I have a hard time visualizing where all the atoms move with no track.
Like you bond the vitae and the quintessence, and then like you pivot the quintessence 3 times, and then you push that pair off somewhere. Put the vitae on the right side of the bonder.
That works perfectly, yeah. Just imagining pushing it off somewhere, then I don't have to think about it. Thanks for drawing.
Yeah.
There's enough somewhere with these glyphs to push things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, you're not using the purification glyph at that point. So there's your space right there.
Okay, so next up, we have in 25th place with 1 less area, at 36 area and 1,058 cycles, another new competitor, Glass Lady.
I think I remember seeing her talking in Discord about how she's happy with her solve even if it's min plus some number.
Mm-hmm. It would be min plus 1 if not for Burlow suppression. It has 1 extra track than needed to access all the access points for all the glyphs.
True, but you would need a change in where the glyphs are, because you can't just get rid of one of the track as they exist now.
Finding out the layouts is the most difficult part of this area puzzle.
Yeah, whenever it's area, I tend to use existing layouts by just searching the leaderboard and finding out what puzzle is similar enough for me to borrow someone else's hard work.
I made the first area solve I made for this puzzle, I checked synthesis by alcohol.
I just went straight for alchemical slag, which is... I know that Guilty Bystander did the exact same thing as I did, and I think we're going to be very similar in our stories.
Oh boy.
I just winged it.
Yeah, maybe winging it is better for this puzzle.
We'll have to see.
This solve tends to be kind of slow. It's only a single arm just doing all the work. Which is kind of how solves go. Kind of how area solves go. Yeah. Oh, this is the only one at 36 area. So yeah, next up in 24th place, we have our Titan with 35 area instead.
And 35 is no suppression, no Burlow tech min.
Yeah.
And that's the layout that does that.
There's probably more layouts than this, but this is one of them that does it.
Yeah, the bonder that extends directly from the arm is what I was thinking of as like the change that needed to happen to the previous layout for it to work.
Yeah. Interestingly, this solve is faster than the previous one.
Yeah, when you only have 2 tiles on the track to go to, you spend less time going back and forth.
True.
Some things are correlated the way you'd expect, where making it worse makes it better in another way, but other things are just they're correlated where worse is worse.
Mm-hmm.
So if you found better, you're better in multiple aspects. Good input suppression on this one as well.
Snowflakes? Which puzzle was that?
Salt flake, maybe? I don't know what snowflakes is.
Flake salt?
Snowflake Crystal Mark II area.
Snowflake Crystal Mark II is not an area puzzle. If you try to say it is, you have crossed the line.
That area puzzle, that for area sounds absolutely disgusting. A weak
The final boss of area.
Yeah, flake salt.
I can imagine that the final boss of area is one of Shadow Cluster's headcanons, where you've got a disconnected infinite, where things like you need 6 stations, and they all have to build something with some sneaky final rotate to come even close to min.
Shadow Cluster seems pretty against sparse products and infinites.
He will never make others do it, but he will keep it in mind as a doomsday device that you could make the Opus Magnum community all die in unison with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, doesn't he have like a secret stash of like tourney puzzles or area puzzles or something he's saving for a fun surprise?
Mm-hmm. He's advising Pist in this, so I imagine she'll have some of these too.
Well, he has advised some puzzles, but I haven't used them. Maybe in the future year. But yeah, next up then we have Cuckoo 52 in 23rd place with 34 area. Oh, Hex Track.
Oh!
Spicy.
I saw this in Fiondir's Auto Salt puzzle. It was not a hex track, it was a hex with one extra little doohickey on it, but this is an incredible way of doing Burlow tech. It's different, but it's just as impactful.
Mm-hmm. This is effectively 4 area Burlow. This is 4 area Burlow, and effectively
you give
3 track.
You give the arm so much access that you can't really say the Burlow is on. Mm-hmm. It's a 7 area Burlow, but the arm gets N of those, and N can be as high as 7 or 6.
Yeah. Burlow, at all times, Burlow takes up 4 unused space, and 4 for Burlow and 3 for the arm.
Yeah, I think the only reasonable comparison I would make here is it's as though the Burlow takes 7 tiles, but the arm doesn't have to take any space at all. So the arm is the thing that is now 0 tiles.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's why it's 34. It's 35 minus the 1 you would put the arm on.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, does this use area outside of its footprint? No, it can't.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. I was confused because I was like, but wait, the arm's usually on 2 tiles, but that's because the Burlow's usually on duplication.
Oh,
And
right,
the one
yeah.
thing about having a Burlow that ever leaves duplication is that is one effectively lost savings.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool solve, Cuckoo 52.
Yeah. Finding just like figuring out Burlow suppression is pretty interesting as well. Yeah. Next up then, we have in 22nd place, also at 34 area, except at 1,142 cycles, JoJo. That's another hex track.
Same track. The fact that multiple people use this is kind of eye-opening to me. I'm not sure whether they're referencing Fiondir's old auto-salt solve, like I would have if I needed to think of this layout, or if they all independently arrived at it.
I considered it independently.
It's I think I solved this puzzle like months ago, so I'm not sure which which records I've actually checked. By the way, this puzzle is months old.
I was also gonna say I like Burlow suppression for this puzzle in particular because there are so many access points.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can like kind of almost pick and choose a bit which access points, unless you're getting that area count really down. So yeah, I think that's what helps make this like a cool Burlow suppression challenge.
Finder doesn't even remember the solve that we're talking about.
Here, I can link it if this if Twitch doesn't disable links.
I'm not sure actually. Hopefully it doesn't. I haven't done any settings though.
Here, I just posted in the Twitch chat the link to a puzzle that at least RP0 said was made by Finder, the solution made by Finder to the miraculous auto puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Which is 2 arms on a 7 track that has the Burlow on it too.
Also, this was intended to be AGC, huh? That's interesting.
I forgot that G was the tiebreaker in all of these.
No, it's Psychos.
Yeah, the tiebreaker in this week 0 puzzle is cycles.
Oh, you mean in the auto salt, I think?
In auto salt, the tiebreaker was gold, if I remember right.
Ah, okay. Okay, so next up then, we have in 21st place, also at 34 area and 925 cycles, Communist Mountain. Huh. That is an interesting layout.
The 3-point Burlow. And the Curtelli that isn't... So the 2 arms there are the 2 arms that I said would be needed to get 2 pistons, no track to access an entire Quint Glyph and Animismus and Purification.
Yeah. So
that's the layout needed for it, and then an extra arm, and then the Burlow on the triangle.
Mm-hmm. This is Min Burlow.
That's a 3-area Burlow, but it leaves the duplication glyph in one of its 3 positions, so it's no better than a Burlow on 2 tracks, in my understanding.
Yeah. There's 2 ways to get minimal Burlow, and that's mostly because of the way duplication works. where one half of the duplication can be like constantly covered without affecting the solution. Yeah. So the extra area this spends on would be the track and the extra arms. Or, well,
Yeah,
mostly just the extra arms in general.
there's 3 arms and then 1 extra piece of track that is part of enabling Burlow to be a 3-tile Burlow, but it is still an inefficiency.
Mm-hmm.
So, are we in agreement that this is the best Crytelli of the day so far?
It's fun to have the hole in the middle of your area solved and stick the
Yeah.
Crytelia.
I think there's more of this later on, just like with the 2
Okay.
pistons.
I'll hold my tongue then.
Unless it's a solve that was improved upon. Alrighty, next up, we have a returning player, even though it's been quite a while, Lars Dahl, at 34 area, 590 cycles. Oh, that is another interesting track layout.
Lars Dahl placed pistons in a solution. What has the world come to? He's infamous on Reddit for
Blasphemy.
taking people's like, I've just made this solution and here's the same thing you just made but without any pistons.
Well, it is an area solve. Is 32 possible on this thing? I don't know, maybe.
I've gotten the impression from tone of comments that it is, and that's a little saddening to hear because I gave up on it.
Yeah, this is 4 hexes for arms, effectively.
I love that the gold is in the middle of that 7-track.
Yeah, and Burlow needs to move out of the way to the little corner of the track in order to output.
Mm-hmm.
I love all the
This
interesting
is a satisfying
approaches.
layout.
Yeah. And if you have enough tracks, making the Burlow share the tracks with the arms is really gives you a lot more axis points.
I wonder if there's an extreme in which you have so many inputs and outputs where the true optimal area solution has to put Burlow on a 6-track shared with arms. Or 7-track if the output can go in the middle.
That would be a fun puzzle.
You would need to have like 15 inputs and outputs, so it could be required that you have all the reach.
Yeah. Or it could just be awkward shapes for the inputs and outputs. Yeah. Next up, in 19th place, also at 34 area, we have Gecko. So yeah, this is the 2-track minimal Burlow that we've been talking about.
Yeah, this is a clean Burlow, but it has 3 arms. And 2 track on one of them.
So also effectively 4 arm space.
I definitely considered layouts that had that bonder with the output sticking out the end of it. It's this really weird linear structure, but there's only one thing that needs bonding, and it's building a line, so it's perfect.
Yeah. Honestly, line-shaped products are kind of awkward. You don't see those often, to be honest.
Yeah. Vanishing material
They're good
in the
for-
production puzzle has a bend in it, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah, the original puzzle had a bend in it, but the journal version doesn't.
Yeah, the line output shape is kind of cool. Like if you've got something like this going on, where you can just have a piston extend, and then just it outputs.
Also, these solves are getting fast. This one's at 526 cycles. Though, that's about to change. Because next up we have Rebix at 33 area and 1309 cycles. In 18th place.
18 people who found 33 3 or better. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
So, 3 track. Because this is for access points. I assume all the solves from now on will be minimal Burlow.
Yeah, 33 is Min Burlow with 3 track, or somehow Min plus 1 Burlow with 2. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, like I think you're right, but I'm happy. I'm happy for you. It'd be cool if you were wrong, because then we get some more wild stuff.
Line shaped. Yes, line shaped outputs. There may be something like that coming up.
Is week 1 going to be improved explosive file, where we need to make a 5 long stick of fire?
Please, that needs to be a shitty tourney tradition. Oh, we found these outmoded chemical weapons in the Calvin house. We gotta show them. These chump weapons can be improved on so easily.
Somebody should make a shitpost tournament. That somebody should probably Steven.
Line outputs, though, huh? Oh, I love stack machines.
Okay, I'm probably not gonna let this finish the run. But yeah, so next up then, we have, with 33 area and 1162 cycles, Rolomni. Oh, huh, that is an interesting fact sheet. I'm not sure about
This
Utopi
is
getting
Min-
32. He did ask if it was possible.
This is also using the bonder stick.
Yeah.
It's a free way to get 5 area less in your consideration.
Also, Rolomni, you're Cotelli. Why is it all the way up there?
It's his first solve. Give him a break.
True.
Maybe he's just anti-Critelli.
That's what Goodbye Galaxy's been doing.
Heretic. Banned.
I think Google Galaxy wouldn't like this.
Oh wait,
He
who was
does
it that asked
postmodern
if
Critelli.
32 was possible then?
Maybe Haxton asked? I think.
Oh no, that's Haxton. I am
Yeah,
blind.
Haxton asked if 32 is possible. The H name pile up.
Yeah.
Post-Critelli movement is strong among the Goodbye Galaxy. Jojo saying you never realized you could get Min Burlow without the triangle track. Yeah, that is the duplication glyph in action. The duplication glyph here is underneath the Burlow in both of its possible positions, so only 3 tiles are actually blocked from use, and those are the 2 that track is on and the 1 above it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same as when you have 3 track. There's 3 tiles barred from use, and so it's equivalent either way.
Yeah. Second arm the track would probably help. Yeah. Kind of what Biggie does.
Oh yeah, you're good. Yeah. And I imagine, of course, Guilty Bystander as well, because Guilty Bystander is the person to have completed a 2-arm alchemical slag and learned that it was slower than the 1-arm alchemical slag just because the amount of shuffling. But I think the skill that they used in that is going to translate exactly to one approach to this, which is the approach I took too.
Yeah. Which names
The
have the
Cotelli
most
in this solution
letters?
is the Cotelli's in the top right corner of the screen underneath my name.
Yeah, I
am the
noticed. I'm watching the solve on OBS right now because I don't need to move around for area solves. Anyways, next up we have Goodbye Galaxy at 33 area. Oh, triangle track.
Hey!
Big triangle track. At 33 area and 859 cycles.
This is a 33able layout. Interesting. Wild stuff still exists.
Yep.
It's the same thing with the that hex track we were talking about, where you said the Van Burley wheel technically takes up 7 hexes of area, but all of them are accessible by the piston. But this is the same thing, but with only 6 hexes.
Yeah.
You are right. You are right.
So it's 3 effective Burlow and 3 effective piston.
Or 6 effective Berlo and question mark. This is just a tech that I don't think gets nicely encapsulated by the numbers we have assigned to things before this.
Yeah.
It's just smart and cool. No, don't ever ask me to try to explain area. I'm not the area guy. Ask Shadowquester. I'll bury my head in the sand and read the eventual digest.
Yeah. We're still at 16th place, surprisingly.
How long does this one take? It's at 8 at 600, so
859
it's like 900?
cycles.
Okay, just
859.
under 900.
Yeah.
Cool. This layout will never allow you to put 2 arms on that track because the Burlo has to cut off
Yeah.
all but one corner when it moves from one corner to another.
Mm-hmm. Alright, next up, we are still in 33 area with Hello Jasper at 827 cycles. 3 pistons. And also debonding all the air first.
That's a pile of air,
Wow.
for sure.
Yep.
That workshop puzzle that's like, it's just some air and it's like a million atoms of air.
Yeah.
What was that? Purified? No, that was a bunch of lead around air. I forgot who made
Oh
the puzzle.
no.
Purified
Oh wait,
air.
you're not talking about the one that had.
It's like an I think it's like an infinity, and then you
Yeah.
have like one air input, and then you bond it to make these huge air triangles.
Oh no, I was talking about one of the puzzles where it was like just a bunch of lead encapsulating a single air called purified air.
And you had to
Ew.
disassemble it and track
Yeah.
all the air, and there wasn't a disposal. So area on that one was literally about how do you store 120 lead in one puzzle most efficiently without using all of your arms or
Yeah.
placing extra bonders. I remember the complete shuffling problem of getting the arm over to where it needed to be.
Mm-hmm. And also,
That puzzle was an absolute nightmare.
I think you got min cycles on that too.
No, I was min plus at least 2, but I couldn't even get the one lower that I was trying.
Yeah.
So I never
The
actually
storage of all the
considered
air on
if
the
debonding. Sorry, I was just saying, I never actually considered debonding all 6 air atoms first. Is it faster? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
It's allowing some sort of encapsulation of concepts. You can make the gold and get it out of the way before you have to start moving Burlo around.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But yeah, next up then, we have 42 Genius 42 at 785 cycles. With the same amount of area. Also 3 pistons. Yeah, Jojo was trying to solve the purified air puzzle for area. Oh, is Genius 42 14th place on both of the metrics? Nice.
That's really cool.
So interestingly, 3 pistons, some of the 3 piston solves are not the fastest ones. So more pistons doesn't necessarily equal faster.
Yeah, there's still enough ways to make a layout that's awkward that you've given yourself more work. And if you give yourself more than 50% more work, then 3 pistons isn't better than 2.
Yeah, for this puzzle, for this solve in particular, it's probably the calcification in the corner over there.
It's just kind of the only thing that was able to be suppressed in that location.
Yeah.
You could put the gold out there.
True. Where's the gold output? Oh, it's down there.
Down next to the... Oh, you probably couldn't exchange the gold output for the calcifier, because there's got to be at least one atom that sits on that tile. Yeah, the earth right now, and by having it there, if there was a solve there, it wouldn't work.
Well, it probably could work, since the reason the Earth is there is because it needs to make way for other atoms going to the calcifier. So it might work. Yeah, next up then, we have at 722 cycles in 13th place, Haxton. So that's definitely a much more efficient calcifier position.
Interesting to have arms above and below the burlow. Because that means that there's one arm whose access points include the equilibrium hex, and therefore don't get to really have a use.
Oof, yeah.
I guess you can swing through it freely, which is better than nothing.
You also get to coordinate better with the burlow wheel itself. So, like the suppression, the glyphs that are being suppressed, they're kind of easy to work around if your arms are literally on either side of the burlow.
This is true.
$722 cycles is still quite a bit.
Yeah, he's getting fast.
Yeah.
I wonder whether I'll just barely eke into the top 10 or if you're getting me next.
We'll see.
I've got a little gap on my cycle count, but not that high.
How much longer? Oh, this is almost done. Alright then. Next up, in 12th place, we have Velvacane, also a new submitter, at 710 cycles. Also a pretty long layout. Yeah, it was Earth.
It's interesting to see so many solutions with more than one piston, having myself never once considered using more than one piston.
Yeah, because it's probably not as intuitive for area solves to use that many pistons, to be honest.
Yeah, which makes it cooler that there are so many of them.
Also, I like how Arm 1 is just entirely, like, surrounded by glyphs. Most of them are on the edge, but Arm 1 is just in the middle of everything. And it should be finishing up sometime soon. There we are. Alrighty, next up we have Username Void in 11th place with 694 cycles. Cycles just slowly going down. Oh wait, this is extremely
This
similar
is
to
Rolami's
Rolami's
layout
Solve.
with 2 arms. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
And
mean,
with a couple differences, because like the stick with the output was to the right in Rolami's, and it's to the top left here.
but I think the track and comparatively to the Burlow is the same, relative to the Burlow.
Oh, and the wasted hex on the Burlow is close to the track, and the duplication is far.
Ah, yeah.
That's actually really interesting.
I wonder which one would be better. Like, if the duplication was close by or further away.
I think in this one it's forced by using the bonder the way it is.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting that that's even a consideration. I would have thought that it's obviously keep your glyphs closer to your arms. But I might be wrong.
22, 23... Oh. Yeah, that's probably just a glitch with with OBS probably loading the text file.
Coordinating 2 arms on a shared track like this was an interesting endeavor.
Yeah. You'd definitely be familiar with that.
Yep, because I imagine me, who you'll probably see next.
Yep. Next up, we have Biggie Mac in 10th place with...
I got into the top 10, and I beat Username Void by 1 position in both categories.
Nice. It's 677 cycles.
But yeah, this is... I basically just copied the layout from Alchemical Slag, put a second arm on the track, and put the rest of the glyphs in where they would fit. I don't think I had any real insights into this, which will explain why I missed something that could be a lower min area. But I'm happy enough with it, and I'm a little amused at the delivery process, because to get the output into that position without debonding it accidentally, there's only one movement.
Right.
Yeah. So it does a little grab, other arm grabs, other arm grabs, other arm grabs.
Little handoff dance.
But it all stays inside the footprint. I didn't consider suppressing any glyphs besides the ones that are in Alchemical Slag, because I didn't have the creativity to realize the layout that I could use, so this is all I came up with, but I'm happy.
Yeah. So, the most useful glyphs to overlap, actually, that I found is the ones that you don't need full access to.
Interesting.
So
the output and the inputs.
Yes, the output. The output, the output duplication, calcification, bonders or unbonders, maybe. Those are the actual glyphs you want to, like, suppress.
Yeah, I think I had layouts with like a suppressed half-access bonder. I thought it was like a huge, it was possible, but I thought it was a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't recommend it, but maybe I'll be wrong.
Next up, we have at 625 cycles, still 33 area, in 9th place, Guilty Bystander.
Congrats on winning the Slag Clone contest.
And also, since we're in top 10, anybody want, like, bets on who wins top 3?
No idea, to be honest.
Is Shadow Cluster's submission included?
No. Well, they did make a submission, but it would not be in, like, the placements.
I'm guessing that probably the best solution to this puzzle is whatever Shadow Cluster has made, unless I'm way overestimating him.
Yeah, probably.
I'll go with Rebix. There's one.
Rebix has already appeared. Rebix is 18th place.
Oh! Never mind.
Well, Guilty, I did salt before debonding, and it did not make mine as fast as yours. So I had some other shortcoming in my layout.
Probably because your output isn't like your input is. Your output is in between your input and the bonder.
Yeah, but I think that was something that worked better than anything else I tried. Again, my area creativity is low, so I won't even try to say I know much.
Yeah.
I'll go with Mr. Puzzle in top 3, Spec 98, and I don't know. The third, I have no idea. I don't have a third guess.
I got a Hutobian just because of his confidence, but there's other
Who?
options too. Hutobi?
Hutobi.
Oh yeah, all right. I'll go for you, Toby.
All right. Next up, then we have Spec 98. Immediately proving zorflax wrong. 400,
Ouch.
almost 400 cycles. 407 cycles.
Getting fast.
400.
At 33 area.
It's always cool how much improvements you can do on the secondaries if you don't. Nah, I won't. Is that? Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
soon enough.
you can say it. This is the last
Yeah,
33
it's like
area
when
solve.
you go when you go min +1, that gives you so much more freedom to cut down the secondaries.
Also, I like how the output works. Like, that thing
The
would
Burlow
crash
has
with the
to
Burlow
spin.
if it doesn't spin. Yeah.
That's really pretty.
It's also super fast. It's 200 It's, I think about 200 cycles faster than all the previous ones. Yeah, more than 200. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, so there goes all 33 area solves. Coming up, then all of the coming solves are at 32 area, which will be starting with Fine Deer at 32 area and 2,805 cycles.
Whoa!
There has to be a better way. Oh my god, it's lagging. So, half-access bonder. No, unbonder. Half-access unbonder.
Oh, that's even worse.
And half-access
That-
duplication.
That duplicator position, it's just
This
No,
duplication
that's
is
zero-access duplication.
yeah,
That
it's
pains
the one
me.
tile that matters is on access.
Oh, you have to make these wands to act. Ugh.
And this has to be 60 in this level. I don't think you ever
Yeah,
get back to
60.
60 if you're like that. Finder, you nuthead.
You got min area though,
Yeah, it's mid-area.
so
7th place.
more power to you.
This also means, I found min-area, by the way.
Amazing, well done.
Very nice.
Nice.
It's mostly
And
the
this also
reason I
means I'm
wanted...
happier than if I had found Mineria.
Yeah, that's mostly the reason I wanted you guys to solve an area for this puzzle, because I know 32 was possible, but I want to see, like, the other options for 32.
This was certainly one of them.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the solutions of all time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is 60, it has to be. I mean, maybe it's possible to not do 60 with a bit of conditionaling, but, Copy-pasting is easier.
There was a point after he outputted the vanishing material where all he had was the 2 silver atoms. So, oh wait, half-access debonder. Never mind.
Half-access
Yeah,
debonder
and
is
I
very
think-
difficult to work with.
You have the 2 silver atoms, but you've... No, it's mostly just because the... I was about to say, you're going to make the input get in the way, so you can't actually output the gold. But there's a bigger problem before you even get there.
Optimize for screen time. Yeah, we're not even halfway there.
The only method I can think of to like not have to do 6T would be if you could use the vanishing material product as a wand.
Oh yeah, that works. I think some people do that, actually.
Ooh.
Oh, 130 area solve. I think that... I don't remember which one that was.
Is that a weekly puzzle?
I remember Hitobi doing a 3/4 T solve. Should I let this run to completion? Yeah, probably not. It's mostly the same thing from now on.
If you just tab click, it'll just run really quick, won't it?
Right, I could do that. But I already
I
pressed
wonder, did
escape.
Finder use FiEdit to program this? Plugging the tool that exists to make it a little bit less painful to build a solution that doesn't get to naturally repeat but has to use the same sort of instructions over and over.
Maybe.
FiEdit is a great tool.
I forgot alt-click exists. Probably because I've been watching on OBS so I can see chat at the same time. Yeah, 3/4 T. You made a 3/4 T for quintessential something. All the names are too similar.
Catalyst.
Catalyst, yeah. There's too many quintessential somethings.
My fault.
Cheat engine.
I
Probably
will
don't need that yet for the stream.
I will point out that this has an exceptionally good Fratelli.
Yeah, constantly covered Critelli.
Being able to get this sort of a solution to completion without ever reaching a stuck point, that's it's impressive.
I think it was just a bunch of copy pasting. Though, you get one
Right.
part done and you just start copy pasting
Yeah,
the rest.
he just confirmed in chat. It's just copy paste.
Yeah. Okay. Next up then, we have Ebanov at 2,362 cycles. Still quite a lot. Sorry this got slow.
So what place?
This is 6th
It'll be
place.
6th then.
So, why does this take so long? Oh, that's a half-axis bonder.
How do you make the 3-atom output with a half-axis bonder?
No
I do
idea.
I do not follow.
I guess
Oh
we'll
no.
see.
Oh jeez.
Huh.
And
This
another
solves
no-access
everything.
duplicator.
That way.
That is a way. And the amount of oh wow. The process of getting that to the output is also an endeavor.
Yeah.
32 years. Oh, but it gets to be 1T. Yay, congrats, Ebanov. You're a little bit less hard to watch.
Also, the input suppression needed for this is amazing. That thing needs to be the input needs to be constantly suppressed so that you're able to actually build the product. Alright, we can probably start art clicking through.
Yeah, I'm impressed this works at all with the amount of shuffling that he needs and suppressing that he needs to do. This looks very hard to figure out.
Reminds me of cost solves, to be honest. Because that's mostly what cost solves are all about, just access points. And not having all of them. What dubious cost offs that is.
Have we got a new contestant in the top 5?
In top 5?
Yeah.
Not sure. Why, there's not enough people
Well, yeah.
for you to fill in?
Yeah.
But yeah. Next up, we have in 5th place at, thankfully a big reduction in cycles, 1,491 cycles, Madmaster.
Oh, Madmaster. That's who I.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
had
name I
gotten the
couldn't.
impression Madmaster had a 32 from something they said in Discord. So
What did they say?
good to see it. I mean, they had just talked about how my first 33 did this.
Oh, right.
This is after mine. So I thought, oh, maybe they're coming in with a 32. There's no partial access in this one.
Yeah, this is awful access, because that's possible.
This is a layout that I just did not find. Like Vista had said something in our DMs of like, the only layout where you need 2 hexes for arms is the one where they are like 2 knights moves apart. I missed this. I missed a particular way of accessing the Gwyncliff because I have no experience with the area.
Yeah. So, something username Void sent me was like just mapping out all the available access points for an arm on 2 tracks with equilibrium glyphs, and then trying to fit in glyphs into that, like, into the graph. It's been really helpful. That's how I solved this puzzle for 32 area.
I did that, and I didn't put the things in the right place because I don't. I did that though. It's the right way to do it. Yeah, Madmaster is Chump Change Boy on Twitch.
Oh, that's Madmaster. Okay.
Yeah, it was funny because people in Discord, like, some people were like, I think I have Min, but I'm not sure. And I know, like, for a while, Madmaster 5000 was like, I'm 50% sure I have Min. And I'm just sitting there thinking, you don't have Min. Like, because if you have Min, you'll know, because it's this.
Yeah, if you have a Min, it's very obvious. It's 32. Because it's not possible to go lower than this.
And then later on in the week, they were like, okay, now I'm certain I have Min. I'm like, okay, yeah, you have Min now.
If you have Min, it's very obvious, since this is absolutely Min. This is theory Min.
Yeah.
And Zorflax is sure that he has Min because, well, Zorflax has a Min area solve.
My name hasn't been read out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't. Your name wasn't read out for some either. To be fair.
Oh yeah, true.
Okay, that's a good point.
I didn't know if you threw it in the whole time or if you were making an area solve.
No, it was just some that I ignored. I did area. I enjoyed area. I thought it was a good area puzzle.
Yeah, mostly because this puzzle was actually just designed for area, and not for some. Same area as Weak Native 1, coincidentally. Huh. It's interesting.
Hopefully I survive one more contestant and squeeze into top 3.
Mm-hmm.
$42 Genius 42 asking what isn't being directly accessed.
Nothing.
Every single glyph is direct access in this.
Yeah.
It isn't even like Fiondir and Ebonov had a half access thing because they didn't see that there was a full access option. But the only thing that's like in the layout and not full access is the place on the output that Vide and Mors are, and you don't need to access those because you just hold it by Quinn.
So next up then, we have Mr. Puzzle at 1,415 cycles.
I figured the speed would get me.
This is also full access.
I'm proud how I output the vanishing material here, though.
Oh.
You look like you have a similar squeeze to get through that I did. Like, don't hit the debonder, don't hit the input.
Mm-hmm.
It gets spicy. Just you wait.
Oh,
Oh wow, the bonder's way over there.
Oh, with the 2 silver, you can get a little bit more space
Ah.
for you to do a swing. A swing.
Input suppression. Nice. Utopia has 31. No, 31 is not possible. This is minimum glyph access space.
You say lower is not possible, but I know Username Void submitted an overlap area solve,
True.
and I'm expecting it's far lower.
Yeah. Yeah. Overlap area does exist, but like for just plain area, this is the minimum. Oh yeah, Shadow Cluster also submitted an overlap area, so we have a small competition there.
hey, Mr. Puzzle, why do you need to bond the 2 silvers to each other?
I need to. So the thing here is that I need to suppress the input.
Yeah, input does also have
Yeah.
access.
But I need to not. But I need to suppress it in a different spot than where the vanishing material goes.
I think I see it now, yeah.
So I need to do indirect input suppression.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there it is. Very cheeky.
You can get negative area by going over 2 to the 31st power. I guess. Alrighty. Next up then, we have Utopia in 3rd place with 13,076 cycles.
13,000 cycles.
No, 1,300. Whoops.
Whoa.
I'm just
I am stumbling over my words a lot today. Okay, so this is half access, and this is
Half
no
access
access calcifier.
Yeah, what does half access mean on the calcifier? No access.
Yeah.
My bad. Here I call you out and immediately misspeak afterwards.
Or it's that special calcifier that gets it mid swing, you know.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, the contact-based calcifier of Mr. Puzzle's dreams.
Also, that is a that is a very convenient way to output the output over there.
The twisty-do.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is a really good layout. It's something that makes sense.
Mhm.
A lot of the ones before this didn't make sense. And then I think the calcifier means maybe it doesn't make that much sense. But I look at this and I think it makes sense.
Calcifier will probably be better if... Well, the calcifier has to be there because of access points. Well, because, like, the bonder position, it has to, like, create a 3 long stick over there. In that corner. So that space has to be used up, and the calcifier is just there so that the area isn't wasted. Yeah, it is quite a complicated path to get vanishing material all the way to the output. Is it actually possible to get a part that does negative area?
I'm gonna find out.
I know it's possible to get negative cost, but I don't know about area.
Well, you just
Area mains in shambles.
I don't know. I got this huge list of modding stuff I want to try. I mean, it should be as simple as, well, it's no. I'm gonna make it sound simpler than it is, but like, figure out where like the area is being stored, and then you just make a part that's like on cycle 0, subtract 20.
Oh, okay.
Easy. Just hacking.
Yeah.
Modding is just hacking.
Yeah, pretty much.
So one name that's showed up a lot in chat and hasn't showed up in the list at all is Brother Mojo. I'm assuming that there's a Brother Mojo stuff coming up. Some pretty
No,
good
Brother Mojo didn't submit.
Didn't submit. Okay,
Yeah.
rats. Because he's someone who I've seen do some impressive things on area.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have in second place at 1322 cycles, Nuachar.
No way.
Yeah, Zorflax, your first place.
Piss off.
Nice.
I didn't optimize the cycles.
I know, it's surprising.
And
Alright, let's talk about this one.
Okay,
The
so
secret
this
to
is a
win
more
areas-
convenient place for the calcifier because it's like coming in. Like the input just passes through it. Even though it's also zero axis calcifier, it's like as the input comes in. Which makes it faster. It's also doing the twisty thing for outputting.
Yeah, the relative position of Brillo, track, bonder outputs is exactly the same as in the previous solution.
Well, it is mirrored.
Yeah, but there's no chirality in this puzzle at all.
Yeah.
So mirror is exactly the same, if you ask me.
Also, all of 32 area puzzles have Burlow relative to the track in the exact same place. That's the only possible place for it to be.
I noticed that early on. Yeah, because my first try at 32 was like having the Burlow track parallel to the piston track, and it just was not happening. And I tried this, and oh yeah, suddenly it works.
Yeah, that's the only position where it works.
I think it helps you get around the Burlow wheel easier to those hard to access points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorting before debonding really makes sense because the output already lets you, no, the input already lets you have access to the calcifier. Indirectly. Oh, it's possible to have a 32 with a 5-track circle?
Is it?
Well, Shadow Cluster is mentioning.
Oh, Shadow. Oh.
It is Shadow Cluster.
Yeah, I'm not going to correct Shadow Cluster.
5-track circle doesn't let the arm and the Burlow get to the opposite sides that they started on. You can't do a complete circuit with the Burlow because you'll cut off the arm.
Yeah, I assume
so. What does a 5-track circle do?
Yeah, that doesn't quite make sense.
It would be no different than having the arm on 2 tracks and the Burlow on 2 tracks. Yeah, I gotta see the screenshot because I'm clueless as to what you mean.
It's just a picture of Dick Butt. He's trolling everybody.
God damn it.
Shadow Cluster is so trusted on area tech that you can just say things.
Yeah. I'm gonna have, if it's in the Discord chat, I'm gonna have to check that out later. Anyways, we'll be checking out our winning solve by Zorflax at 1,289 cycles.
Also, just shout out to Nuchar, who I always remember as being like a space chem optimizer, but they've shown up in Opus Magnum and done some great things.
Yeah. Okay, so interestingly, this doesn't use the twisty outputting.
Straight line output.
Mm-hmm.
Indirect.
Oh yeah, indirect. Duplication.
Oh.
This doesn't have to move the Burlow very often at all.
Yeah.
Because there's so little that needs to be done with it. Like, from this point onwards, it doesn't move the Burlow until it's already out.
Mm-hmm.
And then it moves
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I was just going to say, because the first thing I try to do is the painful part, which is the duplication. But after I get that out of the way, everything else just kind of works nicely.
Yeah.
Really cool solve.
So last year, I set like one of my goals for this tournament was to win a metric, and I've won a metric, and it's fucking week 0.
Yeah.
It's okay, Zorflax. All of those points I could have got in second place are for naught as well. So I understand your pain.
That's the downside of having week 0 being competitive.
Quick, Bist, you're in charge. Make week 0 worth points so I can feel good.
That's unfair to the people who haven't submitted because it's week 0. Like, if you haven't noticed, like, Pentapig and Jinyu haven't appeared at all.
Oh, even better. We get a head start on them. Perfect.
Yeah, the thing that Newchar and Hutobi did with the outputs under the Burlow wheel and the bonders over the Burlow wheel was something I tried, and I didn't like it because I thought getting the inputs to their input glyph was too much of a pain in the ass to justify. Compared to this, where the only thing that's really painful is duplication, but everything else works out.
Yeah. I mean, you can also just have full access everything.
I'm surprised one of those... You see, I just thought someone would find a full access method and it would beat mine. I'm amazed it didn't.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm up next.
I'm not...
So I will say, Zorflax, that having the straight line to the vanishing material output is really strong because you're saving so much time not having to putz around that molecule everywhere, and having the bonder there is not it works well with the indirect duplicator, because you only you just don't take the salt off of the one silver, and there's your wand. There's one of the wands, and then you just build the other one, and then that's all the faffing you need to do, and then everything else just works.
That's because earlier I mentioned having this output and bonder in a line together, and that was why, because that was probably the last thing I found that in this solution before I was happy with it.
Yeah.
And I was I thought that was a really cool idea, because it just saved so much finagling. I didn't have to finagle the vanishing material at all.
Yeah. But yeah, next up we have myself at 1176 cycles.
Major host chops coming up.
Oh!
The bonder is right next to the output. And also, by the way, this is Mad Master's layout. This is my layout.
That's really cool. Good solve. Very efficient.
You got me by 100 cycles too. Well done.
And we haven't even gotten to Shadow Cluster to solve.
Oh wait, there's another one.
Yep.
You're just holding a tournament so we can all be worse than you.
I have no idea that's good. I haven't optimized for cycles.
This is really good. This is just really good.
I lucked out on the layout, to be honest. So yeah, this outputs. The output is really pretty straightforward. But it was the last thing I figured out. This movement right here, where I pivot towards myself. How much should I play Shadow Cluster?
So that would make this 0th place, but Shadow Clusters would then be -1th place.
Yep.
This is Leave No Trace place, and Shadow Cluster is Flake Salt place.
Yeah, between calcification and duplication is quite a bit of a distance. But it doesn't need to deal with all the no axis duplication and all.
I feel like you don't grab an atom unless you're about to put it where it goes.
Yeah.
That's like one of the main cycle optimizing tricks in these low area or low cost puzzles. Don't pick up something and then put it down in a wrong place.
Mhm.
Like, I think every grab you've made in this puzzle goes to the right place.
Yeah, because I get all access points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that was the main reason I suspected that something like this would beat me, because like where this beats mine is because I have to re-grab those wands a lot to get them in and out of duplication. This doesn't have to do much re-grabbing at all.
Yeah, except apparently nobody found layouts like this. Surprisingly.
Madmaster did.
Yeah, my master did, but like the input was unfortunately in the wrong position. But yeah, next up we have Shadow Cluster. With basically the same solve. Except, Quintessence Glyph is in a better position. Because it's right next to duplication.
Oh, right, yeah, the things moved. I thought I was looking at the same solve for a second, and then I saw where the colors were going.
Yeah. This is just the same concept, but a more efficient glyph positioning. And same output method. Any particular reason why I do air first? No particular reason at all. I did not optimize for cycles. I just landed on the right layout. Shadow Cluster has optimized for cycles, I assume, though. Which is why he beat me.
But where is Shadow Cluster's Critelli?
No
Where?
idea.
Where, oh, where?
Let's
As
look
our
for
man
it. Oh, it's up there.
Heretic banned.
That's a that's a 200 cycle penalty.
That doesn't matter. Shadow Cluster doesn't even have a placement.
Reject Telly.
Reject Telly. Alright, speed things up.
You know, I always predicted Zorflax would do well. He's literally the namesake of Critelli.
In my bones.
Yeah, that's all the area solves we have. Moving on then, we'll have our... let's check out TI first. Trackless Instructions.
Yes. This week's
Alright.
super secret third metric was TI.
Yep.
Hot take, TI was better than some for this puzzle.
I don't find TI exciting when there's all these animismus and quintessence and purification, but I'm probably wrong. So
I
let's
don't
find
know.
out how I'm...
But yeah, first off we'll be starting with, Panic. Panic made a TI solve. This is 44 Ti. By the way, if you didn't know what TI is Trackless Instructions, which, the reason why it's trackless because if you have tracked instructions, you just basically get an arm with 3 or 4 instructions on a long-ass track, just moving around. Grab, move, drop, grab, move, drop. Or grab, move, drop, move, grab, move, drop, move.
What's the purpose of that pivot arm? It's arm 10 on the far left. Halfway up.
It prevents this hex arm from taking the
Oh.
silvers until it's
Yeah.
just silver.
Right, it doesn't pivot when it's just silver. Okay.
Moving on, we have well, I also have placements for these because the parser does that automatically. In 7th place with 43 Ti.
Wait. What's ARM 13 for?
ARM 13?
Yeah, like there's a hex arm on the gold output. There's another arm down there. What the hell's that for?
Huh.
There are
Oh,
five.
moving the silver back.
There are 5
Oh.
inches circulating, and so you get 2.5 gold by the
5
time it gets
circulate,
back to
okay.
taking full inputs.
Yeah.
So you need
Yep.
to keep silver in circulation.
Okay. I ran into that problem a few times.
Yeah.
I solved it by getting rid of it.
I solved the problem by getting rid of the problem.
It's such a pain. That problem is such a pain to solve, though.
Alright, next up we have in 7th place for Ti, Bambi with 43 Ti.
Oh, we got a long
Stick time! Oh, the other half hasn't even started. That's pretty efficient output building, actually. Oh, there goes the leave no trace idea. We are very much leaving trace now.
I like how ARM 5 spins the wrong way for, I believe, no reason.
Huh.
That's Bambi tech, yeah. Bambi doesn't need to do things perfectly. It's not like the gold is limiting.
Yeah.
It's not. No, yeah. That's what I like about it.
I think I remember Bambi during Ferris wheel having the dancing arm.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bambi did the dancing arm in Ferris wheel. Next up, in 6th place for Ti, we have at 42 Ti, Haxton. Yep, Haxton is next.
I
like ARM 1.
ARM 1.
Yeah, ARM 1 is doing quite a bit. It does feel like the ARM 1 outputting gold is just a coincidence though, because ARM 9 could very much do that.
Could it? It would grab in the wrong direction. I guess it would just need to be a link to ARM, and then it would be fine.
I mean, if ARM 1 didn't grab it there, ARM 9 probably could have just grabbed it and outputted it to the side eventually. The gold.
Yeah, I guess ARM 9 could have been in a different base location. This just stands out and looks cool.
Like the amount of flair that are in these TI solves, like that ARM 9 thing.
But yeah. Next up then, we have in 5th place for Ti, Mr. Puzzle, at 38 Ti. Quite a drop. We could probably zoom in now. Also, something that we haven't even mentioned yet is like how the glyphs, like how you even access all the glyphs with TI. Especially the quintessence glyph, that one's the hardest to work with. Since you have to have...
solutions always make it look easier because the problem is solved by the time you see it.
Yeah.
But it's so hard.
I love ARM 9.
Oh, ooh. That's the new TI tech, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the, what was it, warming Yeah, I can't remember. It was alcohol.
Warming tonic.
Yeah, it was warming tonic. Yeah, when I found that tech, it's really cool tech.
And it's used here for debonding instead of bonding. That's one way to debond your input.
And it makes sense because it's 120 rotations, so there's that 120 right there.
Yeah. Okay, after this, we have in 4th place for TI, Madmaster at 36 Ti. Leave a big trace. It's another wasteful solve.
Did I see 1,914 area?
Oh, maybe.
The metadata displayed how wasteful this one might be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely leaving a very big trace.
Hey Biggie, do you remember your Horn Silver Ti solve?
I remember it. It wasn't trackless though. It was accepting
Yeah, I
the
know.
penalty of 1 per track.
I was just going to make a point about the waste chain, like being clipped off,
Exactly, yeah.
which is what yours did.
It's just a giant conveyor belt if you take snapshots of it 1 period apart. But it doesn't convey, it smashes sideways.
I'm surprised it's solved like without issue, to be honest. But yeah, this is... I'm always like amazed at how the quintessence glyph even works with TI. Or instructions in general, because you have to get all 4 atoms on the right, like in place at the same time without it moving off. It's amazing how it works.
Yeah, it's a matter of coordination.
Coordinating things is difficult for TI too.
Yeah.
Next up, we have in 3rd place for TI, with 33 TI, username Void. Can zoom back. Oh, wrong button. We can zoom back in.
With zoom mod, I'm just worried that someday we'll find a collision that depends on zoom level.
It probably doesn't matter. Since I think zoom mod is just doing whatever adjusting the resolution size does, except only on certain elements.
One can hope.
We have to ask Lumina about that.
Very cool hex arms again.
Yeah. Yeah. These
The
solves
combination of arms 5 and 8.
5 and oh.
It's like 5 has a parity thing. If it's on one of the sets of 3 grabbers, it can't be quintessence, and if it's on one of the other sets of 3 grabbers, it will always be quintessence.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's cool.
I wonder how much of this is deliberate and how much of it is, oh, that works out, let's put it in. Because that happens a lot with me and my TI solves. Like, oh, perfect, let's use that. But yeah, now for in 2nd place, we have Spec 98 with 32 Ti.
Lag machine.
Like, here we go again.
Ah shit, here we go again.
Oh hey, that's the tech that's used for a Welcome to House Coven TI. This one gets laggier than Madmaster's solve. It's gonna wreck a CPU, alright. This one goes up to 10,000 site area.
Blah.
It's fine. It can run to completion. I think. If it doesn't run to completion, we could just stop it anyways. The concept is there. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna let it run to completion. It's getting really slow now. But yeah, that's the basic, and that's the concept of it. It's doing something similar with the contestants glyph, actually. Actually, I think it's identical. The
I
quintessence
think it is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Except it retrieves the quintessence in another way. Yeah. And in first place, once again, we have Zorflax at 30 Ti. Tigma. With a very compact solve.
This was one I actually did think I would win.
Mm-hmm. This is a very impressive TI solve. It's like super compact too.
My favorite arm is arm 2,
Yeah, I was
handling
gonna
both
say.
purification output and animismus.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Because
Twitch
getting the
right now?
Huh? Is
I'm struggling to see you on Twitch.
oof. Is it any better now? Stream
Nah,
is
Hutobi in
dying.
chat says stream's dying.
Oof. How would I go about fixing that?
You can drop a Discord call if that's better for the Twitch stream.
It was probably lagging because of the previous solve.
It looks like it's gotten better, but it was right as the solution screen came up that Leave No Trace 0.
Oh yeah, I haven't even changed anything. It's probably just like getting better from recovering from the previous solve.
The fans have cooled you back down.
But yeah, ARM 2 is really impressive.
I also did a similar parody thing with arm 5 with the quintessence. Instead it needed to be a single arm because everything was clumped together so much, and there are like other atoms flying around it.
Yeah.
So getting that to work nicely was also very. That was a challenge. That was probably the other big thing that got my instruction count down.
Yeah, everything just works like clockwork in this solution. It's amazing.
I'm proud of the fact that there are only 2 arms that use more than 3 instructions.
Huh. On ARM 3 and ARM 5. Wow. Yeah. Also, by the way, this instruction doesn't count if you're not aware. Oh. That's a bug to fix for Zoom mod. The instructions go behind the tray when you drag them. That's not supposed to happen. But yeah, that's all of our TI solves. And let's see which metric we should look at next. Maybe height, since height has been pretty popular as well. There's only one person that actually did instructions, Utobi. Sorry about that. Okay, it loaded. Let's see. 4 people did height. We'll be starting with RPO, token height solve. By the way, RPO, your faster height solve has 4 height. RPO submitted a faster token height solve, except it has 4 height instead of 3 because of accidental swinging.
I like the piston gateway.
Yeah. height times width. Oh no. Yeah, input umbrella on opposite sides doesn't sound like the best of ideas. But otherwise, if not though, you need suppression. Height divided by shoe size. Okay, next up, when height we have... Oh, this one's at 434 cycles, and next up we have Binder at 358 cycles in the same height. Don't feel like optimizing today. This was before Binder submitted all the other solves they did.
I like this method of do all the quintessence first.
Height solves tend to be rather quick. They're pretty fun to watch, actually. Yeah, next up then, we have Communist Mountain at 266 cycles. That is a long track Arm 7 is sitting on. Yep, it can be faster, unfortunately.
How many people submitted height?
4. 4 people submitted for height. Oh wow, that is fast. But yeah, and after this, we have, in first place for height, Bambi at 226 cycles. Yeah, quite the big range for cycles.
Genius brings up a production chamber that's height 3. It'd be a little different because you could do the rotation that would collide with arms but not atoms.
Yeah.
Or atoms but not arms, whatever.
Who was the one that experimented with custom chambers?
That was me.
Yeah. When do we get to see that?
Once we figure out how the hell to make them draw them correctly, because
Yeah.
I got a custom chamber. You can put stuff in it, and it solves like normal. But the game's like, you've placed 0 chambers. I'm
Oof.
going to draw a cabinet that's really teeny tiny, and then have the gift centered on it, so you
Oof.
can't see anything. And I'm like, well, damn it.
Damn.
Bambi, once again, being as suboptimal as possible without affecting his stats. I'm watching Arm 6, and it waits to drop the gold until the latest cycle that it can without clogging up the machine. Because that's not limited.
Yep. Bambi loves to do
Bambi
that.
enjoys being suboptimal without having any impact.
Yeah. Alright, that should be all the height solves. And which metrics have we not done yet? Let's see. Width. Let's go with. Once it loads.
I guess I should keep my spicy width opinions off stream.
There are only 2 people that did width, and RPO made a mistake with their width solve. Once again, this is 3.5 width, not 3, because of a mistake. arm 5 right there. That makes it 3.5 width.
Oh, that's just that's the reset instructions biting him.
Let me fix that then. That's arm 5, right? Whoops. Oh. Let's...
It's just that the reset should retract and then rotate, and instead it's rotating and then it's retracting.
Yeah. Maybe that should work?
No, it had to do a rotate. I think you got rid of work instructions.
Okay, there we go. We fixed it.
It lives.
And if that were fixed, this would actually be better than the other with solve submitted in cycles. But oh well.
Reset instruction strikes again.
Yep.
Literally the worst single key press you can do in the game is C.
Agreed.
I'm gonna ruin this man's entire career. Click.
But yeah, oh, that's an interesting with solve.
Ooh.
I like how this looks.
This is a river of track.
Mm-hmm.
These
I
glyphs
like how
do
the
stick next to each other
Sorry.
nice. Sorry, zorflax. I keep talking on you. Go ahead.
I just said I like how the pistons cascade up and down the track.
Yeah. They're sharing a lot of space, honestly. It's fun watching this solve. Alright, that concludes our width solves. Next up, we can show our gold solves. Which I, received a lot of after I said nobody, actually said any. Some of them are gold area cycles, some of them are gold cycles area. I've put them in the same file. It's basically the same thing though. Let's see, Mr. Puzzle did gold area cycles, which would be second place in gold area cycles.
The dreaded GAC metric. It secretly cycles.
This was the one that had the enormous pileup and quintessential stabilizer, the one from the weeklies.
Yep.
Weeklies?
No, from the tournament, the real
yeah.
tournament, yeah. Rookies tournament, sorry.
Because it's like everyone figured out min gold, and then they figured out the min area at that gold. And then it's like, well, it's a speed contest now.
Mm-hmm. Wait, is this 16? No, it's not. Okay. And winning the gold area cycles competition, we have zorflax yet again. This is zorflax.
It was close too. There's only like 23 cycles in it.
Yeah, not too many saved.
Oh, that's cheeky.
Oh, how
Well, that's
many
cheeky.
total submissions were there? Let me check. Oh wow, 42.
Look at that opening move.
42 total submitters. And
Oh,
total submissions, not too sure. GAC. Yeah, with a GACK. No, GAC in the box. That's a lot of duplication happening at once.
Duplication go brrr.
Yep.
It feels like you could somehow get under 1,000 with like a really good layout, but
Yeah,
I couldn't really
probably.
find it, and I wasn't asked to find out.
Mhm. It's just a casual gold area solve. But yeah, anyways, for the gold cycle solves, we have Communist Mountain at 825 cycles. Number 2 again. Yeah, Communist Mountain has been getting number 2 on everything.
I gotta drop off the call for a bit, but I will be back, hopefully. And
Alright.
let me know if there's something cool about the new puzzle.
Alright.
Hopefully I don't miss that.
See ya then, Becky. Would probably be a lot harder if there wasn't animismus. Right, yeah, that would be 3 access points only.
oh
Or
no,
3
I think it's
3 tracks only.
I think it'd still be forced to 4-track because the 3-track that Purification needs and the 3-track
No,
that...
those overlap. You can access all 3 points with a bent track instead of a
Yeah,
triangle
Biff
track.
is right. There's a rotation involved.
That's right. I keep forgetting about that orientation or track shape for that. Like when I see Purification in a gold solve, I'm like triangle every time.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Don't even
triangles are
question it.
better. But yeah, the winner of Gold Cycles area though is JoJo at 689 cycles. Quite a bit faster actually. GCA resubmitted because they left a pointless drop.
It's kind of like watching the GAC solutions, except they're allowed to just swing atoms over the rest of the layout.
Yeah. Cost isn't as interesting when it comes to non-dubious cost puzzles.
Yeah, like for this puzzle, like there are a lot of layouts, but the layouts themselves can look kind of samey.
It's just an arm on 4 tracks in the middle. Maybe you can use it like lightning track, but no, doesn't always work out. Secondaries are nice, but you can make like fun cost puzzles that are nice in secondaries, that are better in secondaries. Like mildly dubious cost puzzles. Alright, that's all the cost solves. Next up, we'll have people who actually bothered to do cycle solves.
How many were there?
I think, actually, not 3 or 4, I believe. The parser is loading right now. Four people. And surprisingly, we'll be starting out with a new participant. Existengium. New player.
Ooh.
And they have a pretty strong grasp in cycles. So we'll be excited to see what they come up with in the following tournament weeks. So this is actually not full input speed. It's grabbing every 3 cycles, instead of like every 2 cycles, which is full input speed, but it manages to do pretty well still. They have a pretty strong concept of like how to use track libs though. So yeah, that's this solve. Cycles are very complicated, and well, unfortunately Biggie has left, so he can't explain like the path to minimum cycles, but it's pretty complicated. And mostly latency related. This is kind of similar to alcohol separation, except you got a bunch of glyphs to work with instead. Like a handful of the worst glyphs to work with, actually. But yeah, this
It's like
is...
quintessential stabilizer, but worse?
yeah. It's just off one latency. This is at 50 cycles, and next up we have Communist Mountain at 45 cycles. Oh my god. That is quite some tracks. That is a lot of tracks. This is symmetric solve though. Other than the input and the outputs. I like that. Latency is
God,
bad,
there were
yeah.
no low effort cycle solves, were there?
No, not really. It's just mainly it's just full throughput and like see where you go from there. Next up we have Bambi, which is an enthusiast for cycles at 41 cycles. Let's see. Nobody actually try-harded for minimum latency. It's just mainly just full throughput, and then they're trying to shave off the latency. Which this does a pretty good job of. 41 cycles. Kind of just showcasing these solves. I don't really want to go into like the latency of each one of these.
Yeah, if you made this like a scoring metric, I think you would have earned a few enemies.
But yeah, next up we have Haxton with their cycle solve at 37 cycles.
That's impressive. What did Biggie said you wouldn't be able to really reasonably expect to get below 35.
Yeah. But like sometimes 1 cycles makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
So maybe 37 is fairly simple, 36 is fairly simple, and 35 is just super difficult. That's just how cycles goes. But yeah, that should be all the cycle solves. And now we have our showcase ones. Following cycles, we'll probably be showing the throughput solves. These ones are not in order because they're in my showcase folder instead. So yeah, this is throughput cost by Haxton, I believe. So basically coughed. Min is probably 31, but like it's not really reasonable to get to 31 cycles. Oh, Haxton did try hard. Explains why they got first place. Oh, this was throughput area. Huh. Wait, if this is throughput area, then what's the one that's actually called throughput area? Wait, this is the same thing. Huh.
But now with one piston.
Well, I may be missing a solve somewhere. If I am, please tell me, Haxton. Yeah. Okay. And then we have Mr. Puzzles for throughput solve.
Yeah, chug time.
Ooh, this one's big.
Effort.
Oh, this one's big. Oh, there's the input. Oh, it's 30 pipelines.
Yep. I was like, let's do throughput. And I was like, well, let's not try so hard.
I assume those are copy-pasted.
For the most part, yeah. There's a couple of tweaks to them
Yeah,
to like get the outputs to work right and to have them like not crash into
crash into each other.
stuff. But yeah.
This is, as Mr. Puzzle put it, rate with secondary effort and secondary aesthetics. Does that imply aesthetics is like you're putting not much effort in aesthetics, or like trying for aesthetics?
Goal 1, get throughput. Goal 2, don't try too hard. But if it's not too much effort, make it look nice. So
Yeah, and next up we have Communist Mountains for throughput solve. Okay, gotta zoom. Oh, this is basically the same thing. Except I assume a bit cheaper. With a bit more latency. Yeah. And then after this, we have Ebenob's solve, which is also for throughput. R almost T. Just almost trackless. Just one track in there. Huh, the Brillo doesn't spin at all. That's interesting. Everything just goes around the Brillo. Also, this is full throughput at only 4 cycle period. Nice. And yeah, that should be all the throughput solves. Next up, we have Hutobi's 6 instruction solve.
6?
6, yes. Because 3 instructions is more easier to work with than 4 instructions. And just double that.
Okay, fair enough. I'm guessing you might be like explaining it in chat, but I don't have chat open at the moment.
Out, Stephen. don't know. Maybe it could have been a tracked arm? Not trackless arm. Probably, Evanov probably didn't bother. It's just mentioning that it was. Let's solve this for instructions. Oh wait, no, I need 4 instructions. Never mind, let's do 6. Wait, do you actually need 4 instructions? Probably. Haven't done the calculations. And I'm not that experienced with track instructions. Also, this is why trackless instructions exists, by the way. Imagine this, but with only 1 arm. Yeah. Anyways, next up then, we have, overlap area. Oh, no, not this one first. I'll load in the other one first. This one's by...
man, I was so confident 32 was min.
Yeah, this is a 17 overlap area by username void. Overlap area is a thing, and it's pretty interesting, to be honest. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on when it comes to overlap.
I like how instant the purification and gold output is. It's just
Yeah.
boom. I reckon overlap might be another one of those things that gets more popular, like over the years. If we
Yeah.
start running out of metrics, the more people would probably be interested in overlap. Maybe.
Yeah, overlap area and overlap cycles is probably one of the things that are coming up once people run out of metrics, or once everybody is familiar with overlap. Yeah, after this we
Maybe
have...
that'll be the. Sorry.
Oh, you can go first.
Oh no, I was just gonna. I can't even remember the joke anymore.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Anyways, we have Shadow Cluster next with 1 less area in overlap area. Shadow Cluster always does this with their overlap area solved. They just put equilibrium over everything. It's like, alright, keep your secrets.
It's especially cheeky because if you dare try to remove the equilibrium,
Yeah, you just
you're
grab
gonna
other
fuck up
stuff.
you're gonna fuck up the activation order, because that's really important with overlap.
Yeah. Also, the arm is on the input when it outputs the quintessence. Like when the quintessence is formed, the air doesn't even spawn, it just automatically turns into quintessence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's mostly to solve. Oh. Shadow Cluster had just an arm just hold the output before just outputting at the end. This is 6T, by the way, for it. Probably that reason alone. And for our last showcase, we have Cuckoo 52 solved. Mega lag machine. Uh,
27,000 cost.
To see that triple-digit ARM numbers.
does it zoom out further? No, this is the most zoom. I'm probably not gonna play this solve. But if you didn't know, Cuckoo52 doesn't retract only solves. I'm probably gonna have to make a recording of this, like after the stream, and post it in the Discord chat, because this thing doesn't run, especially on stream. It's gonna lag even more, so I'm just gonna, like, show you guys the path it takes.
Is it just like an absolute slideshow the whole time?
Yes. Yes, it is. So it starts over here, it makes a giant chain of the input, and then pushes it slowly upwards. And then it calcifies and duplicates. It turns it into a horizontal chain and calcifies and duplicates the colors onto it. And then it splits it up into these processing channels, turning it into quintessence and animismus and purification, like processing each unit. And then combining it again at the top. Oh, even dragging is difficult. Are we there yet? Okay, there we go. And then it combines everything at the top, over here. And then outputs.
Is this the biggest one he's ever made like this?
I don't know, you're gonna have to ask Cuckoo52 himself. But yeah, this is super impressive, and it's unfortunate I can't play this on stream. And I admire Cuckoo52's patience of even creating a solve like this, or he just has a super beefy computer, I don't know. This is really, really impressive. The reason why it's so laggy, by the way, is because of all the instructions. Each of these
Maybe he
arms
just has a really good gaming chair.
Yeah, there's too many instructions for this solve, and probably too many arms as well. It just makes the solve really laggy, even without playing it. So yeah, that's this solve. Unfortunately, you can't play it, but I might do a recording later and just post that in the Discord channel. Okay. Yeah. So that's it for all the solves this week. So congratulations to everyone who won, like, placed well in the metrics. And right now then, we're going to be reveal week 1 of the tournament. The tournament officially begins now. Week 1 is rust removal. This is the puzzle for week 1. And the metrics are cycles and cost.
Ooh.
Cycles gold area and cost cycle area. So, yeah, this is the puzzle you guys have to work with.
This looks cool.
Shadow Cluster said he liked this puzzle, so I'm hoping you guys like it too. But, yeah, that should be all for the stream then. Thank you all for coming, and enjoy the tournament. Enjoy the puzzle, enjoy the tournament.
See you
Yep,
next.
fear of rejection already. Have fun. But yeah, thanks for coming to the stream. See y'all.
See ya.